everybody, this is Sheheryar Shahid and welcome to All of Your Business. You must be thinking what I am doing in the nature. I was just wondering, talking about economy in the nature would be great. Without any further delay, I'll welcome Mehtab Saab. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Ji walaikum assalam.
Thank you for joining us, sir.
Always welcome.
Sir, I would like to ask you the first question of the podcast, and that is Pakistan has received more than 3.2 billion in remittances in September. What does this indicate?
Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Thank you very much for having me. Actually, if we analyze only the one factor that had rescued Pakistan from default, that is the remittances. The remittances which were sent by the overseas Pakistanis. In last financial year, Pakistan receives $38 billion. And for this financial year, Pakistan has invested a target to attract $41 billion. And how much we receive from the IMF? In 37 months, IMF program is going to provide only $7 billion. And if we receive the new program of RSF, the total portfolio of the IMF will be standing at $8.4 billion. So it's 5 times more. The Pakistanis are providing $41 billion to this economy in this financial year. And that is the only factor that had rescued Pakistan from the default.
Sir, when you say that we have a lot of remittances coming in the September, sir, do you think this would help in the growth or maybe the foreign investments?
Of course, they are sending money to Pakistan, and it's going to help a lot of those who are living in Pakistan, because it shows that they are sending their disposable income to those Pakistanis who are living here. And if we analyze the hustle and bustle and economic activities, it indicates that this remittances has played a significant role. And I will quote a recent World Bank report which says that the growth of poverty has decreased mainly because of the contribution played by the remittances, which were sending Pakistanis from abroad. And if we analyze the first quarter, overseas Pakistanis have dispatched around $9.5 billion into Pakistan.
And that's huge, sir.
It's huge. Of course, it's huge.
Sir, my next question to you is, Pakistan and IMF have made significant progress towards staff level agreement under EFF and RSF. Sir, what's your take on it, and what are the things that would unfold in the future regarding this?
Actually, it was the second review under the $7 billion extended funds facility program. IMF team stayed in Islamabad for almost 2 weeks, and they met with all officials belonging to Ministry of Finance, State Bank of Pakistan, Federal Board of Revenue, Ministry of Power.
And raised a lot of concerns as well.
Of course, but finally, they shared the Memorandum of Economic and Financial Policies, which they called MEFP document, on which there is a requirement of evolving consensus. And if both sides will evolve consensus, it will turn into signing of a staff level agreement.
Okay.
So this document has been shared with Pakistani authorities after 2 weeks talks. Now, Minister for Finance, as quoted, says that it is just matter of time. So everyone expects that probably next week, maximum, Pakistan and IMF will be able to strike a staff level agreement, and this staff level agreement then will be forwarded to IMF Executive Board in 6 weeks period. Then the board is going to grant its assent for the third tranche under the EFF, and the first installment under the RSF, which is meant to help Pakistan to combat the climate finance.
Sir, another question that I have in my mind is that the GDP growth number has surged. What are the factors behind the surge, and how do you see it?
Actually, on the eve of the last economic survey, the finance minister announced that the GDP growth of the last financial year 24-25 was estimated at 2.68%. But that growth number was based on the data collected in first 9 months. So the last quarter data was now released, it was incorporated, and in the last quarter, Pakistan's growth was estimated at 5.6%, 5.66 to be exact. So in the last quarter, growth number has really gone up. So because of this factor, the overall GDP growth has been increased from the provisional number of 2.68% to over 3%.
Okay.
And it shows that the economic activities has really picked up. But the real challenge lies that how we are going to sustain an equitable growth during the ongoing financial year.
So, do you think Pakistan's institutions are ready for the challenge?
Of course, they are ready for the challenge, but the challenge lies that whenever we achieve growth beyond 4 to 5%, it resulted into creating imbalances on the internal as well as external account of the economy. So my innocent answer is that we will have to comply with these challenges. Otherwise, it will be a growth, but it will be unsustainable.
Sir, having said that, IMF has agreed to lower Pakistan's tax target for the current fiscal year. Sir, number one, my innocent question to you is this, that of course your expert opinion on this. And the second, the actual innocent question is this, how it is going to be for the people of Pakistan. Are they going to see any relief in the inflation, in the daily commodities prices?
Actually, the recent floods has caused devastation to Pakistan's economy. And Pakistan has recently assigned 4 international creditors to conduct damage and need assessment. So, on the basis of this damage and need assessment, the actual losses will be surfaced. But so far, in the first quarter, FBR has faced a shortfall. So, keeping in view this shortfall and slowdown of economic activities, because the growth number has also been slashed down, which were projected at 4.2% for this financial year. Although you didn't raise question, but for the last financial year, when Pakistan achieved GDP growth of 2.6%, the revised number shows that the GDP growth has been jacked up to over 3%. So it shows that the economic activities are picking up. But keeping in view this recent floods, IMF has agreed to slash down the FBR's target. It still will be a challenge because FBR requires a growth of 20%, keeping in view the collection of the last financial year. So let's hope that FBR will be able to achieve the revised target. But of course, they will have to focus on the enforcement.
Sir, what it is going to be for the normal people like me, or maybe the people coming from the underprivileged class?
Actually, without resources, no country can provide any kind of solace or relief to the people. But for the formal sector, manufacturing sector, and for salaried class, there is no relief. We shouldn't expect. But
That's a sad news.
of course, that is a sad news. But the only way where we can get relief, FBR requires to broaden the tax base. When everyone will share the burden, then FBR will be able to reduce the tax rates.
And maybe the inflation as well?
Of course, because inflation this time, uh, initially it was invested that there will be 5 to 7% CPI based inflation, or price hike. But after this flood, this number has also been revised upward. Not too much, but 7.5%. So it will be standing around 7.5 for the on average for this financial year.
Thank you so much, sir, for today.
Thank you.
We'll meet you, inshallah, in the next episode of All of Your Business with new economic and business insights. Take care.